Everyone, it's Sam here, and today I'm going to show you how I've made this double box pop-up card. Now if you've been here a long time, you will remember my little football locker room card that I did, which was a pop-up box style in a 5x7. This is 5x7 too, but I've done a double version, and I'm actually going to do a mini series on this style because it's just given me lots of inspiration. I'd like to revisit it and do some different sizes and different configurations. For today's, I've used the wonderful new Peanuts collection, which is Chill Out and Be Thankful. And all of the product, as always, is linked below. Basically, that's how it all looks in the envelope. And then when you open it up, you have this double box. How cool is that? Very sweet images inside there. It all stands up like so. And you've got your space on the back there to be able to write your message. You don't need any specialty dies to make this one either. So let's get started. So I've got everything already there. I'm going to go through the scoring on those pieces in a moment. So I've stamped all my decoration. And it's using this stamp set. It's very sweet. So if you like doing autumn card making, crafting, paper crafts, then I think you'll really enjoy this. And if you love Peanuts, then check out the new autumn collection. It's really sweet. I've made a few cards using this, and I've actually done a launch video over on my other channel. So if you do want to see it in a bit more detail and another card of me using it, I'll link that below. But really nice. You've got a lovely paper pack there as well. So yeah, excited to have that one. So to make this a fun card, you'll want two pieces of 8x6, and along the 8-inch side you're going to score at 1, 2.5, 5.5 and 7, and then rotate and you're going to score at 1.5 and 4.5. You want to do that twice. Pop it back into this orientation and you want to put a little marker at 4 inches, and then if you flip it and do another little marker at 4 inches, that's along the long side. Okay, next grab a ruler, and you want to make sure you got I've got a self-healing mat here, but just a softer surface. Just make sure it's something that's protected. You're going to now score from the little 4-inch marker there down to the bottom left and bottom right of that rectangle. So you'll have a rectangle in the middle along the long sides. Okay, that's you're only scoring within those little rectangles. So I'll do this one and hold it up just so you can see, like so, if it's catching the light. So that you want to repeat on that one there. So just turn it this way and score. And you're going to do that on the other piece as well, because we need 2 of these little boxes. Okay, then you want to fold and burnish all of those score lines. Next we want to do a little bit of cutting. So along the short side, you want to cut down the score line. So you're going to go past the first and down to the second score line. Okay, and again on this side I'm just cutting away the score line from this part, so you can see there all that score line is all on this bit, so we're going to cut that away, then snip off those end bits there. Okay, and then take a little wedge off of the sides here. Okay, so we've got these tabs. You want to repeat that at this end, so just flip it around and just do the same. Okay, next we can start gluing it all together. So you're going to take your glue. In fact, you want to fold these as well before we do that. So just fold over those angled score lines. You might want to fold them back and go over the other way as well. This is a colour core. It's a 230 GSM and it doesn't crack. Whenever you're working with angles, you want to make sure you've got a good quality cardstock, so it will, be able to move in all the directions and, like I said, not crack anyway. You can see this one that I've already done there. Oh, take your glue and you're going to add it to one of these tabs, and then you're going to bring this around and you're going to stick it behind this one. So you're bringing it up, so we're going to start making that box shape. Okay, and then again, always putting the glue onto the top of the tab, and then bring up the side and bring that around. Make sure you've got a perfect right angle, so you're hugging it around the fold there. And do those two at the same time. Again, that one there, like so. And they see they all meet up nicely. Just focus on those right angles. Give that a minute to dry. Push your sides here, the top of the triangle there, and it will bring this down, and then these pieces will fold out. So I'll do that side first, and then you can give it all a really good burnish. And again this side, like so, and then fold those out. And you want to repeat that twice. So now we can start sticking this all together. So I've got 2 pieces here, which are 2.5 by 7. Just double check that that is right. Yeah, 2.5 by 7. And you're going to stick one so it's flush with the top, and then the other one so it's flush with the bottom. You want that gap in the middle, because that's where I'm going to have my sentiment. Plus, you need to make sure that the bottom is at least flush, because it won't stand up otherwise. It will topple over, there'll be too much weight. So I'm just going to run my quick grab glue all down this 1-inch tab. And then just focus on getting that nice join there. You want that really nice and flush with the top, so when it folds down, this is your front of your card, so you want to make sure this is nice and neat. Okay, and then again with this one, like so. Okay, so we've got one side, and flip it around or however works best for you, and now you can run your glue down both of these, and then stick this one down, just kind of hovering it over the bottom one for a minute until I've grabbed that, and then I can just make sure that one's all right, and then just bring that down, just make sure that all joins up. Again, you want to make sure it's nice and flush there with the bottom. Probably go with this as the bottom, because that's coming up just a little bit proud there, the box, so whether my score line was a bit wonky or something, but you're not going to really notice it. But now, carefully, if I pull that out, how cool is this? And you could have it displayed like this if you wanted to. You could add the extra pop-ups like I did in that other one that I mentioned, but you'll see now it all stands up really nicely. So now down to the decoration. So I've got, or I will, because I've only got one unless I've dropped it somewhere, but this is a piece of 2.25 by 6 3/4. So I'm going to have that on each side, and then using that stamp set, I have used all of them, I think, all of the images apart from the pie, and I've got the gourd and the pumpkin there as well. I'm not sure if I use it or not, but even all the leaves, and that's what I've used to create these little scenes. So I'm going to have Charlie on this side ready to clear up all of the leaves. Then I've got Snoopy there in his sweater because it's sweater weather, so he's going to be like, so it'll be like so. And then I've got these 2 pieces which I've cut just slightly under 3 by 3, which is the size of the box. You can come down a bit more if you want, but we're going to have, I think, yeah, that one. I want him at the top, him at the bottom, her at the bottom. We'll see, but these here, if I just drop them in like so, and then like so. In fact, I think I'm going to have her at the top, so it's like she's dropping all the leaves down and he's kicking them, and then Charlie's ready to clean them all up, something like that. And then when that's all done, I will show you how to attach your sentiment. So that's everything now stuck down. You want to make sure you do add mats and layers onto this. You may even want to add, you know, something to cover that. You may have this space for your message. You need to kind of strengthen it all so it will stand up. If you go for like a 180 cardstock, you'll find these boxes might dip at the back. So you do want to make sure you add your mats and layers. I've got construction glue as well. That dries nice and strong and stiff, so it will just keep that all in its shape. But it's such a fun style. I absolutely love this. And I am going to be doing some more of this style as well. So to add your sentiment in the middle, I was trying to think about how I could do it. I mean, you may well have your sentiment in here, going up the side. You might not want to add this bit. But I've got this piece of cardstock which is 6 by 3/4, and along the 6-inch side you want to score 1 inch, 2 inches, 4 and 5, and then you want to create a valley fold, then a mountain, then another mountain, and finish with a valley fold. So that will all sit behind. You can see it's kind of that spring effect. I do this a lot in my cards. You're going to add your glue to each of these sides here, and it's going to go underneath like so. So it's going to stick in between those bits there. And then you can add any shape and size topper onto that. So you might have a nice big circle and just have pattern paper in here. You know, you might have the other pop-ups. You can really build up a scene. That's why I think there's going to be a lot more scope with this style. So I'm going to add my glue just onto, like I said, the backs there. I might just sit that over that way so I don't get the glue anywhere else, and then just pull it up. And just want it to sit in the middle of each side there. Don't worry if it's a bit wonky, because your topper that you put on top, you'll make sure that's straight. But that's in place, and then I'm just going to add some glue onto there. And then I've got the sentiment, sweater weather is better weather. And then if you close this, this will fold down all at the same time, and then you can make sure it's straight. So you see it on the outside of the card, which I think looks really fun. I'm just going to hold all that there for a minute, and then when they take it out of the envelope, it's already starting to pop up. When you pull that out, how wonderful is that? I think this is adorable. Very easy to display. I'm super pleased with that. So what I'm going to do, just to finish it off, on the back I'm going to cover the two with some white card, and I'm going to pop that one there and then that one at the bottom. So once again, there is the finished card. There is the back. So lots of room for your message. You could, if you want to, if maybe you've used different colours for these bits. If you don't want to see that, then just add, like I said, more of that size that I gave you there. But I think it's a super sweet card. Very pleased with that. And it's using some of this new collection. It's the autumn theme. You've got dies, you've got lovely big stamps. I've got a card with that one. Like I said, the paper pad, and then the stamp and die set that I've used today. As always, all of the products that I use in my videos is linked in the description box below this video. I will also have linked the live that I'm doing over on my other channel if you want to go and watch me do a preview launch of this collection. I'll have a playlist coming up of this card style and the one that I mentioned at the start. Give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed today. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any future content, and drop me a comment as well because I do enjoy reading them. See you in the next one.